Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John, that's my cohort and commentary Ashton, and this is our Monday Night Raw review. And my God, how much I'm looking forward to put those words behind me. Because let me tell you, folks, let's keep perspective here. This was the go-home show before WrestleMania this Sunday, 6 days away. And I didn't hate this show. I didn't love this show. You want to know what I felt for this show? Nothing. Didn't feel inspired, didn't feel jazzed up. I could have gotten angry at certain points, but then I thought, what's the point? My anger just goes off into the silence. It's not like it changes anything. So I felt nothing. I am over this show. I'm over its bullshit. I'm over its stupid mistakes. And hey, let's see if I can get a little bit of a choir going. Partner, what did you think of this Raw tonight?
Yeah, I mean, this Raw, I really can't echo your sentiments enough. This Raw really wasn't a bad episode of Raw. It was decent. It was relatively enjoyable. There were some fun segments that went on tonight, but on the whole, it was forgettable. There was nothing about this show that made me think like, wow, this is what it feels like to be right before WrestleMania. This show's going to be amazing. That just wasn't there tonight, and it's supposed to be because it is WrestleMania season.
You know, I think one person's tweet that I saw, because I checked Twitter intermittently tonight, they said, that most of the show to them seemed like recaps and video packages, and just the repetition and everything made it so tedious and boring for them. And I'd have to echo that. Like, there was one really good video package we got, and I'll come right out and say I really enjoyed Rollins and Triple H's video package.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like, damn. And there was one other thing I really enjoyed, like on an audio-visual level, and we'll get to that later. But yeah, I mean, maybe a good match or two on this show, but there was nothing on here that made me think, man, it's WrestleMania this Sunday. I'm just not feeling it, guys. And if you think this conversation's something, I can't wait for WrestleMania 33 preview and predictions. That is going to really be something when we actually look at this, I believe, 13-match card. Holy fucking shit. Any other sentiments that you want to express before we formally get into our first segment?
I think it's worth noting that in a 3-hour, 15-minute show tonight, we had 5 matches.
Yes. I mean, what the fuck? I don't know what to say about it, dude. I've gotten so
and really, I mean, one of those matches was the over-the-top rope challenge, which was a nothing, basically.
Yeah. I please, as far as the armbar goes, I have quite a bit to say about that, too. But anything else you want to say before we get into our first segment?
So, well, I was getting ready to say. So we had one over-the-top rope challenge, 2 cruiserweight matches, and then 2 other matches that fit into, like your traditional, like what you would actually expect to be considered a wrestling match on Raw. It's just, it kind of blows my mind that they are just so directionless the week before WrestleMania. Like, it feels like there are maybe 2 feuds on the show that really have a sense of direction and purpose. And neither one of them involves the Universal title. And quite frankly, the only one that involves a championship at all is the United States Championship match between Owens and Jericho.
Yeah. I just don't even really know what to say anymore. Like, I've enjoyed the build, you could say, to Jericho Owens. Hell, I've even enjoyed the build to a degree with Rollins and Triple H, knowing what they've had to work with Rollins being out a good chunk of time, really having to stitch something together. But, man, I am just not feeling this Mania, and this Raw didn't do anything for that. If anything, if I'm being honest, this Raw just made me think, okay, I really can't wait to get over this hump and towards, like, new horizons, beginning the wrestling season anew after Mania, and hope that it's been better than this one, because this one, at least on the Raw side, has been very lackluster. But that said, anything else you want to say before we get to heat of the night here?
I'm not going to try and stall the show. Let's just move on.
All right, Heat. of the night. I'm not going to try and stall the show either, partner. I've got no heats of the night tonight. No nitpicks. Again, I'm just meh about this show. What about you?
Yeah, I have at least one nitpick just based on a problem that I had with a booking decision tonight.
Okay.
And it's funny because one of my biggest problems with WWE on their pay-per-views is that they try too hard to be unpredictable, and a lot of the time they're unpredictable at the cost of something making sense, right?
Right.
Tonight, the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens match was too predictable.
Yeah. I mean, I even told you what the finish was going to be. I mean,
yeah, you told me what the finish was going to be long before the match started, and I was in some dreamland where I thought that WWE was going to do something interesting with this, and obviously that didn't happen. But at the end of the day, this whole thing with Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, or what was supposed to just be Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, but it was no DQ, so then Samoa Joe and Chris Jericho got involved. The only person that this entire segment got over was the guy who's leaving after WrestleMania, Chris Jericho.
Yeah, it's a trend we notice a lot now, isn't it?
But at the same time, that was at the expense of 3 guys who are going to be sticking around afterwards, not just another part-timer or maybe one guy who's going to be sticking around afterwards.
Right. You know, dude, this WrestleMania, or this build to WrestleMania, I should say, is really giving me a lot to chew on. And I look at something like this, and I look at the build that we got to Orton Wyatt, and I've kind of been a little confused about my feelings with the ladder feud, but I will say this. You know, even if everything did come full circle and we're still right back where we started, you know, thinking that we were going to get Orton and Bray, I can at least commend SmackDown for the detours it took. Just off the top of my head, Orton saying originally, like, I'm not going to face you at WrestleMania. I rescind my Royal Rumble match. Like, you know, that at least was interesting. I wish Raw would have at least a strain of conviction to be daring at times, to do a decision like, oh man, Kevin Owens wins. He just destroyed the career of Sami Zayn. Imagine what Chris Jericho's in for at Mania. Because the way you did it tonight with this match, which was a superbly wrestled match, until shenanigans.
I fell asleep halfway into it. I couldn't tell you. I didn't actually fall asleep, literally. I was just saying that.
Right. I mean, no, again, these guys have great chemistry. I can always count on them to do something, you know, worthwhile and entertaining. But then shenanigans come in, and then you realize, oh, wait, that's why I shouldn't have gotten this invested in the first place, because now I can count all these beats off. And you even said I did far before that this match even started. And, yeah, like, this doesn't benefit anybody because people could say, oh, Zayn got the win. Yeah, but he got it with a distraction again. And that's the funny thing.
And it made Owens look awful because he got distracted and he got beat by a surprise roll-up. How much of a scrub are you, dude?
Dude, the fact that Kevin Owens fell to the roll-up of death, oh my God, my heart just sank. Again, though, like, I can't even express I have no more in me. Raw's taken it all away from me. And with Zayn, it's so funny because this is the exact same shit, more or less, with how he got into the Rumble match. And remember how jazzed I was? Because I'm like, oh, Sammy's one of the few guys that had to earn his way in. Clearly, he's going to, I mean, I picked him to go all the freaking way. That didn't fucking happen.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You picked Sami Zayn to win the Royal Rumble this year.
Yeah, because I thought he had the story. Silly me.
Story doesn't matter on Raw.
Exactly, and
they care about is box office, and they're wrong about who the box office draws are anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
Oh, don't even. Oh, we'll get there. Oh, we'll get there. And I'm not even going to make any conjectures about the armbar yet. I mean, again, you got to wait till preview predictions for that. But knowing that Sammy got his entry there, I want to get excited for him. And again, this is 2 straight weeks that I'm being sincere about Sami Zayn, so fuck you for that too, Raw. For fuck's sake. You know, and I'd like to think that he's getting something, but I mean, probably not, right? Because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So who really does this help, except to return to your original point, Chris Jericho, who had to get some of that momentum before WrestleMania. I don't know, dude. I'm so done. That it was a great match, but then shenanigans sullied it for me. What can I say?
Yeah. And that right there, though, is that it's kind of why I was surprised that you didn't have any heat to the night, because I figured you would have a problem with that as well.
I mean, I did, dude, but again, it's like, I mean, I know this is probably going to be the most depressing thing I say all night. I just feel like Raw's beating me down, dude. Like, what is there to complain about when the same shit happens over and over and over again? You know, because this isn't like a new thing for them. Dumb booking decisions are not new to them. You know, if I almost wish it was, because then my rage would be fresh and I'd be coming in like, grr, I'm mad about stuff. Let's talk about it. What's there to talk about? They're idiots. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I'm over it. Are there anything else that you want to air out here in this segment?
No.
No? All right, I'm good. Then let us get right into our Monday Night Raw review. And we actually start. I caught the tail end of this, admittedly. I was a little late to getting Raw up and started on a stream because you guys know I don't have cable. But we know throughout the night there are a series of videos that are Undertaker related, him prepping a grave for Roman Reigns, and we'll get to the payoff of that later in the show. But that's where it starts. As far as the formal beginning of the show, it's a Bayley promo. Partner, what'd you think about this?
Well, I mean, it's funny because I actually saw somebody on the Squared Circle subreddit say that it's smart to have Bayley open the show because crowds are always more energetic. And then he also said that crowds are more forgiving to open a show. And I strongly disagree with that because in my experience, having watched a lot of wrestling, crowds typically have higher standards when it's at the earlier part of the show. Because on Monday Night Raw, you just get beat down over the course of 3 hours to the point that by the end, you're just eager to get out of there and you don't care how good the thing is going on in the ring actually is.
Exactly. Yeah, I would agree.
So when you're opening the show, the crowd's high energy, but at the same time, their standards are like, we want to see something good. And then you have Bayley come out and they're like, yay, Bayley. But then she starts talking and they start chanting CM Punk at her.
Yeah, Philly was kind of brutal to certain acts tonight. You know, I don't want to come down too hard on Bayley. I know she's never been a talker, but this is a by the numbers babyface promo. Let's be honest. She talked about how, happy she is that she's going to be at WrestleMania,
Dude, honestly, it's weird to me because it's almost like the WWE has this kind of it's almost like they're surprised that their female performers are people who were fans of wrestling before they got to WWE, because they spent how many decades just hiring models out of magazines and then teaching them to wrestle to the point that it really wasn't a passion for them. And now that we've got women who are talented wrestlers, who do look good, who are fans of the product, or who at least grew up fans of the product, it's almost like the WWE and Vince and the writers are like shocked by this, and they think everyone else is going to be shocked by this. So they take every single opportunity that they possibly can to shove that idea out in the open and let everyone know, hey guys, look, these women that are hot, that can wrestle, that are talented, they used to like our product when they were kids. How great is that? Little girls can like WWE too.
I wonder the look of bewilderment on Vince's face when somebody informed him that they actually had a female demographic. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I mean, the irony is that, like, the female demographic slowly grows when Roman Reigns gets pushed, but the male demographic decreases at a rate higher than the rate that the female audience grows when Roman gets pushed.
Right.
So there is a female demographic, but pushing Roman is not the way to bring them in, because that's how you drive away your male audience.
Exactly. Show them the exemplary performers that you've got. But no,
You know who I bet is going to drive the female demographic up for WWE when he gets back?
Who's that?
Finn Balor, baby.
Balor. Yeah, I mean, the guy's got it all. He is the one guy, again, everybody said, Vince, if you screw this up, we will physically kill you. Because, yeah, he's just that good. But I can't say that for this segment, because Bayley, I mean, again, she tries, never try, all that stuff. Says, I'm so excited to be at Mania, but then Charlotte interrupts. I know your favorite, so what did you think about Charlotte's promo here? Because she got more extended mic time.
I know, dude, it's so weird, because, like, I've always felt like Charlotte has this really wooden delivery where you can tell that, like, she just has these lines memorized in the back of her head, and she's spending more energy to think of them and remember them and deliver them than she actually thinks about making her delivery good. And that seemed even worse tonight. Her delivery seemed even more wooden tonight. Like, it got to the point that she wasn't even looking at Bayley to deliver these lines. She was just staring out into space, almost as if she was visualizing her script while she was saying it.
Yeah. And really her whole narrative was, again, trying to, deepen the rift between Sasha and Bayley. Oh, your friendship doesn't matter to Sasha. Sasha, I mean, she sent out this tweet and showed an image of Sasha and Charlotte hugging.
From 2 years ago. That was from 2015.
Yeah. See, Bayley, this is totally relevant to your situation right now. So again, just trying to be an antagonist, get these two to kill each other. But then Sasha interrupts. I actually like Sasha here because on the one hand...
Yeah, this is the best work Sasha's done in a while.
Absolutely. Because on the one hand, she's playing down Charlotte's claim. She even says, me and Bayley are big girls. We understand the difference between friendship and business. But she also takes a moment to needle Bayley a little bit, saying, and I did beat her to get into the match. And Bayley looks like she's...
And she says she's going to beat her at WrestleMania.
And she's going to beat her at WrestleMania. And Bayley seems like she's getting ready to retort, which, again, I'd find really interesting, because I've been waiting for that to happen. But no, Nia Jax comes out. And, my God, this promo was so amazing. It was a revelation, guys. Lethal levels of sarcasm detected. Okay, Nia Jax.
To be honest, Nia had probably the least bad delivery out of all these women. And that's not even me saying it was good. Really, Nia's delivery was kind of you can tell that she's not super uncomfortable in front of a big crowd, but she clearly hasn't had any acting classes or anything. So it's passable, but barely passable, and it was still better than all of the other women in this, except maybe Sasha.
Yeah, honestly, dude, I'd agree with you. My pecking order would be Sasha, Nia, and if I'm being honest, Charlotte, and then Bayley. I really didn't like what Bayley did at all.
It doesn't even surprise me, but I don't necessarily agree. I would just say Nia or Sasha slightly better than Nia, gigantic power gap. Charlotte and Bayley equal.
Yeah, but regardless, Nia pretty much says it's funny because she kind of vocalizes what we've been thinking to a degree. That it's just about the three of them. Oh, Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha, Bayley, Charlotte. That title's just been going around in circles, but when I win at WrestleMania, it will, be mine forever. It's going to find a place forever with me. And I got to be honest, I dug it. I thought that was interesting. I'm glad.
I mean, here's the thing. The promo was good. The delivery was passable, but the idea behind it is a major concern for me because I wouldn't be surprised if she ended up having a long title reign and nobody wants to see that. Probably not even her. I don't think she even wants to see that.
Yeah. And dude, I'm so glad you said that because as I'm watching Nia, try and work the mic, which again, not a horrible effort at all, especially compared again to Charlotte and Bayley. I want to get excited about Nia Jax. I do, because I know the benefit of having somebody that looks like her and with her background, could be.
I mean, it helps if they have talent, though.
And that's just it, though, right? It does help if they have talent, obviously. And I wonder, will she ever get there? And right now, I'm just when everybody says, how green she is, I'm yeah, they're right. You could see how green she is. And I worry. I'm curious how she'll do, but in a morbid way at Mania with this Fatal 4-Way, which is now an elimination match, by the way, guys.
Yeah, that was weird. And Bayley said elimination match, and I was wait, did they make it an elimination match now? And because, Bayley is one of the less natural talkers, so I was thinking, maybe she wants it to be that, but they haven't made it that officially, and she botched because she had it in her head.
Right.
But you would think, I don't know. I feel maybe Cole would have said something about how it's not actually an elimination match or something. But no, I guess maybe that actually is official, which is weird to me because this is the first time we've heard about that.
Well, I guess it does add a little bit of interest because now it's not going to be sudden death, which is funny because we just recently covered WrestleMania 20 and had two of those types of matches, in the tag team division.
Sudden death, fatal 4-way.
But this is going to be elimination style. And then, after Nia's promo, Charlotte takes another dig at Sasha and Bayley's relationship. This pushes Sasha over the edge. She immediately attacks Charlotte, probably thinking, "Shh, you're ruining the plan."
Dude, this is one of those moments where Charlotte is telling Bayley Sasha's gonna turn on you, and then Sasha is coming out and being yeah, Bayley, I'm gonna turn on you, and Bayley's just wait, you're gonna turn on me? And then you see the WrestleMania logo, and right under it has she's gonna turn on you, and then at WrestleMania she turns on her, and Bayley's just damn you for your sudden and inevitable betrayal.
I know, right? How could I have seen this coming? My best friend, it was right in front of you.
You're my best friend.
You know, it's really sad because I always wanted to look at wrestling as my safe haven from idiots. And then bested by idiots, so I can't escape it. I just want to die. So yeah, brawl breaks out between these four, and wouldn't you know it, we get a tag team match.
Wait. Was it the two heels versus the two baby faces?
Oh, you bet your
No
ass it was.
freaking way. I never would have
know,
guessed.
right? Oh my god, it was incredible. Yeah, we got Sasha and Bailey versus Nia and Charlotte. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I sound horrible saying this. I don't even really remember any specific moments from this match, save for the closing moments.
I was gonna say the finish, but then you.
Yeah. So you and I remember the same thing, yeah, because I mean Bailey gets the Bailey to belly on Charlotte after.
Yeah, but I remember what happened leading up to that. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, Sasha took out Nia, pushing her into the ring post when she tried power slamming her. Then I think Charlotte kicked Sasha off. Then she tried to boot Bailey. Bailey sidestepped it, got her finisher, got the pin, and I also, of course, remember the post match. But yeah, I mean, any other moments you want to highlight that I didn't touch?
No, you kind of stole my glory there.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. So yeah, Sasha and Bailey, they're getting their hands raised, and again, it's almost like they know I want this, and I just keep getting denied because Bailey looks over at Sasha almost like, hey, now that we won, we need to talk. BAM! Nia lays them both out. Drops a leg drop on Sasha, and probably one of the funniest moments of this show, besides Sami Zayn existing. Bailey charges at Nia thinking she's going to do something, and she gets Samoan dropped. So I don't know what was going through your head there, Bailey, but you failed. It was bad, and
I'll tell you what was going through her head. I can do this. I'm a female superhero. I'm a WWE superstar. I got to do it to take down Nia and defend my friend Sasha. Oh.
Exactly. And then my personal favorite, because I can only imagine her internal monologue. Nia, it's not even really a move. It's just like, hey, Charlotte, I'm going to run into you and let my weight do the rest. And so she barrels Charlotte down. And then she holds up.
I mean, like, the crazy thing is Charlotte is like the biggest woman in the division, and Nia weighs twice her.
Exactly. And then Nia holds up the Raw Women's Championship, at which point I'm thinking to myself, it should have been Emma. It always should have been Emma.
Don't do that to me. You're mean.
I mean, yeah, direct your anger at the people who do this fucking shit to you. All right?
Hey, man, all I'm saying is, you blamed it on me last week when Nakamura didn't show up, so I can blame this on you.
It was your fault, though.
And this is your fault.
You know what? Fine. I'll accept it because clearly you need to get over whatever it is you're going through right now. But yeah, Nia, she poses with the championship. All of our worst nightmares are probably going to manifest themselves. But guess what, fuckers? We're getting off this ship because this is our last Raw review before a Raw live reaction. So that title reign ain't going to be getting a shit ton of coverage like you think it will. So, yeah, Nia drops the belt thinking, yeah, it's going to be mine. And that's pretty much it. Do you have anything you want to add?
I don't think so, no. I think we can move on. Up next, we had Sami Zayn interview backstage. He declares himself an entrant in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and he goes farther and says that he is dedicating the match to Mick Foley.
That's really sweet, Sammy. The only problem is Stephanie interrupts. Says, "Oh, Sammy, you can't just declare yourself as a part of this match, even though
on my Monday Night Raw, you have to earn it."
Which is odd, because I could have sworn so many people on the Raw side did declare their place.
I mean, yeah, but that was before she fired Mick Foley.
Actually, you know what? That is a good point. I mean, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So I do have to give you that. Also, though, I would have to believe that it's because she just has this vendetta against Sami Zayn. Why not just fire him? Like, I don't understand it.
I mean, she already wanted Mick to fire him a couple weeks ago when she gave him the option to fire anybody on the Raw roster. Like, she was really encouraging that.
But no obstruction is in your way now. The only thing I can think in a narrative sense is she doesn't want Shane to have the satisfaction of the pickup because SmackDown would sign him immediately.
Plus, she doesn't want Sammy to be a martyr.
Exactly.
I think that's why she wanted Mick Foley to fire him, because he's like this good guy, and if he fires Sammy, there's like this emotional moment between the two, and Stephanie maybe looks like the bitch, but Sammy doesn't look like the hero.
Oh yeah, that's right. That is my new nickname for Stephanie. Is the bitch enters and just tells Sammy, you've got to earn your way. So
I just realized this is the only time we saw Stephanie McMahon tonight. Maybe that's why I didn't hate this show as much as I did last week or the week before.
You know what? I think you're right, because the other times I'm thinking we saw Stephanie really were just recaps of like other stuff or video packages that she was a part of. So wow. She was actually kept somewhat in the background. That's amazing. Pretty much tells Sammy you're gonna have to earn your way by facing Kevin Owens in a no DQ match. But wait, there's more, because Sammy, if you lose, then you're gonna join Mick Foley because you'll be fired. I appreciate that you're listening to me. I would appreciate, though, if you could be prompt when listening to me, because I said this shit last week when it would have really mattered and heightened emotional tension. You're a week fucking late, Raw. Oh, my God. So, yeah, that was that segment. I guess it was fine. It moved things forward.
You know what, dude? That should have been a heat of the night for you.
You know what? Again, they've beaten all the anger out of me, more or less. I mean, I really should have expected this. When they said it, though, my mouth kind of dropped. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? That you and I together last week carved out a beautiful story for Sammy and Mick, to get him off TV. So we served two functions. We're jugglers, right? And it was beautiful. And they just... They couldn't carry the ball. They fumbled it so goddamn bad.
And the great thing too is that it's like they've like spent the last week watching YouTube reviews of Raw, and so many people brought it up, and they were like, "Oh," and like they hit themselves in the head, and they were just like, "Oh man, we had an opportunity to do a really cool angle there with this firing of Sammy. Let's do it this week."
I mean, the booking of Sami Zayn has been so horrendous. I don't normally do this, but I want to direct everybody's attention to Bullet Club versus The Shield that says she's ashamed. I want to get that wording right. No, she's disgusted for choosing Sami Zayn as her first bae. You did this, Raw. You did this. Clean this shit up.
To be fair, though, if she never had Sammy as her bae, she never would have been able to have AJ as her bae. Sami Zayn led her to AJ Styles.
Yeah, I was going to say, the best thing about Sami Zayn is it actually taught you how to have taste, and now just every decision after the fact has just been so much better. But yeah, there we go. That was Sammy's segment. I just hate everything about how they're using him, mainly the fact that I have to come up here and defend him when I just want to laugh at him all day. So after that, we get Austin Aries versus Noam Dar. What'd you think about this?
I mean, this was fine. Really, the highlight of this match to me was Alicia Fox.
Yeah, because she was,
because she was. I mean, first of all, she looked great. I don't know what she's doing with her hair or her attire, but whatever it is, she's doing a great job. And she had the best moment of the match, because at one point, it looks like Austin Aries is about to win, and she gets up on the apron, and as Aries kind of goes over to her, she's like, "You are rude, and you're a cheat, and I don't like your face."
So us, by the way, with that last line.
Yeah, it was great, and that distracted Austin Aries, but apparently it didn't distract him enough, because he's Austin Aries, and he's basically the Kushida of WWE, because he still wins, despite the distraction.
And
can we just say that, this literally means that Austin Aries is a better professional wrestler than Kevin Owens, right? Because Kevin Owens got beaten by a distraction roll-up, Austin Aries didn't.
Exactly. Wow, when you put it that way, as if there was anything else left in me to die. I feel like another thing just died inside. And I saw all this, so I don't mean checked out that way. But I really did kind of check out on the show, because I was just busy thinking of alternatives and things that I would find interesting. And as I'm watching this match and knowing that we watched WrestleMania 20 recently, I'm like, maybe Noam Dar could be a modern day CLB. Because given how he got with Alicia Fox and everything, and that thick Scottish accent and everything, I'm like, yeah, that could work. Give him a mic. It's not going to be promo gold, but I guarantee you I'll probably laugh every time. Every time. Give him something. I don't know. But Aries wins with the last chancery. He didn't pin Dar immediately after the discus 5-arm, as Corey Graves calls it. Neville was on commentary, so he saw everything. And Aries is like, "That's you at Mania." Yeah, stop your pointing, Aries. Just shut the hell up. Anything else you want to say about this?
I mean, other than just disparaging Austin Aries for being boring and not entertaining at all, I have nothing else to say.
That's quite all right, my friend. We get the second clip of Undertaker digging a new yard for Reigns. Then, actually, I couldn't believe that we got this early in the show. Our Rollins Triple H segment. And partner, I'm going to give you the floor here. What do you think about all this?
Well, just to kind of clarify on why this probably was this early in the show, Raw, in a sense, has 4 main events these days. They have the segment that comes on at like 8:58 p.m. that kind of takes us over into hour 2. Actually, the opening segment is one as well. So you have the opening segment, that first hour main event, the second hour main event from like 9:57, 9:58 into the third hour, and then the actual main event that closes us out at 11 o'clock at night. And this was the first hour main event.
Right.
This was like this. I think this segment started at like 8:58, and then carried us over into the 9 o'clock hour, and that's why it was on this early, because they had this was the first one, and then Roman was the second one, and then Goldberg and Brock were the last one.
Right. So, what
But
did you think
this
of
segment, I think this was the segment of the night to me. Like, and it's not even really close on. Like, I shouldn't say it's not really close, because I will say the Roman Taker thing was really well done. But I think that this was the clear-cut #1 best segment of the night.
Dude, I'll tell you, if Seth had never gotten injured and they were able to do stuff like this sooner and then some, this probably would have been my most anticipated match on the WrestleMania card. I think it still is like top
This
3.
this is my most anticipated, I think.
Yeah, and I can understand why, dude. This was really good. I mean, really good. And I just want to single out, because, I mean, yeah, Triple H's promo was fine. I don't want to take anything away from him.
But it was the same promo he cuts every single week for, like, years now.
Exactly. But with Rollins, like, these are the kinds of... The fire, and I was going to say, like, in terms of... In terms of, like, the source, like, redemption and stuff like that, these are the kinds of babyface promos I've wanted him to cut since he got betrayed by Triple H.
In, like, June, July. Oh, since he got betrayed by Triple H. Okay.
Well, yeah, because remember my biggest problem when he was feuding with Owens, and then Michael Cole, I think it was, asked him very pointedly, like, what's the difference between you and Kevin Owens? And I thought
and he basically said there is no difference. I'm just further down the line in my progression.
And I said, way back then, I said I would have much rather Seth owned his shit, said back then there was no difference, but now I'm going to show Triple H that I don't need him, I don't need the authority. And he kind of did that, you know, with the Corey Graves sit down at first, where he said, you know, maybe I deserve this. But then he, you know, got fired up. And then this, like, finally, we're on track. This is what I wanted, because I love that Rollins straight up said, I liked who I was before I met you. Like, that's powerful to me.
And I want to add, Rollins got the elusive Rock style cheap pop, where you don't just name the city, you name a specific landmark in the city. He specifically said the name of an armory in Philadelphia. That is the kind of pop that The Rock got over with.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Seth's passion here. And again, I love the whole narrative thread of this promo. The man I used to be before I met you, everything I gave up by associating with you, he straight up said, like, I lost every friend I had, and for what? And so he says his real mission isn't just slaying the king. It isn't just about catchphrases, this and that. He even says, like, it's not about revenge, fame, fortune. It's about redemption. It's about reclaiming the Seth Rollins I was before I met you. And I'm like, yes! That's why I love babyface Rollins when they do it right. And I hope now that they've got that baseline that we can really do something good here. Because I've always said about babyface Rollins, when it's bad or lukewarm, I'm just like, I mean, I still love him, but it's But when it's good, I'm like, damn, this is the guy that you want to put the cart, you know, behind so that he could pull it and everything. And yeah, this was great stuff. And I gotta be honest, I love Triple H's little cheap shot too, kicking the table like into Rollins' bad knee and trying to continue that assault. But then Rollins shows fight. He gets that jumping kick to Triple H's head. Sends him out to the floor after he tries pedigreeing, which I thought was a cool little visual there. But Triple H chop blocks him, with the hand, and then he tries to do more damage. Rollins backdrops him. Triple H tries getting back in, and then he gets hit with the crutch. So, this segment really was, you're right, the best segment on the show. I'd say the only thing that was even remotely competition, again, concurring with your point, was what Reigns and Taker did later in the night, and we'll get to that. But, yeah, this was quality stuff, dude. I completely agree.
Yeah, man. This was really, really solid stuff. I think the moment when Seth hit his jumping enziguri on Triple H was one of the biggest pops of the night.
Yeah, definitely.
And I just love how down to earth Seth felt in this, because when he was saying man, I liked myself before I met you. I was proud of myself, and then he even let out a dude. So he was like, dude, this isn't even about fame or money or fortune or anything like that, or even just one match about WrestleMania. And that's when he says the line about how this is about redemption. And yeah, Seth. Anybody who doubted Seth Rollins as a babyface, look no further than this promo to be proven wrong.
Exactly. It's not Seth or his ability. It's not anything to do with him in any aspect. It's just the writing to make him to have a clear motivation and to run with it. And I feel like here, and even a little bit before then, to be fair, we have that clear motivation now, and they've been running with it as best they can. Not always with the best results, but this was great. This is absolutely amazing. I love this. This is the babyface Rollins that I want on a regular basis, because I can sink my teeth so deep into this shit. I'm a fucking proud Rollins fan, and I felt vindicated watching this, because I'm like, yeah, babyface Rollins can work because of shit like this. So, nothing else to say on my end. What about you, brother?
Yeah, honestly, if I had to choose what would main event WrestleMania, I would put Taker Roman, assuming a Roman heel turn, at number 1 on my list to main event WrestleMania. But if Roman isn't turning heel, number 1 on my list would be Orton Wyatt, and then number 2 would be this match, Rollins Triple H.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, this is such an emotional match. Yeah,
because to me, obviously Roman going heel is the number 1 priority to me. As unlikely as it is to happen, that's the thing I want most out of this Mania. But then the next thing I want most is for the SmackDown side to have the main event. But if that can't happen, if Vince is just adamant, no, damn it, SmackDown isn't the main event, Raw is. That's not the A show. Raw's the A show. Raw is the flagship, damn it. Then, yeah, if I had to pick a Raw match to main event WrestleMania, this is it. I don't want Taker and Roman to main event unless Roman turns heel. I don't want Lesnar and Goldberg to main event, even though they probably will. There's no other match on this show, on Raw, that I would rather have main event WrestleMania than Rollins Triple H.
I completely agree with you. I'm not even going to tack anything onto that, because I think you articulated my sentiments perfectly.
And especially if Rollins breaks out a new finisher or brings back the curb stomp.
Oh, dude, No. You know what? I'm gonna hold off till WrestleMania preview and predictions, because I was getting ready to respond to that. But yeah,
I think because it's an unsanctioned match, so there's no rule against him using the curb stomp. So why not?
That's true. And no better stage than WrestleMania, and with no better performer than Triple H, who is a part-timer anyway, would know how to take the bump and just all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, just seriously though, just imagine the way the crowd would react if Rollins hits Triple H with the flying knee off the top. And then as Triple H is slowly making his way up to his feet from the ground, Rollins has him lined up and he goes off the ropes and hits it. That would be the biggest pop that we would have at a WrestleMania since Bryan won at Mania 30.
I agree. I completely agree. Again, everything you're saying, I'm picking up, dude. Because, yeah, they have a chance to really do something special here. And we'll see if they can capitalize. Again, that's why I really am looking forward to preview and predictions, because we get to talk about our expectations, our ideas, just everything. Everything's going to be laid out on the table, but that's still a few days away. In the meantime, oh my God, this. Over the top rope challenge.
AKA the most worthless, meaningless, pointless segment of the night by a lot.
And you know what? I'm just going to read from my notes here, because I don't really want to talk about this that long. Big Show lays waste to everyone because he's a giant! Braun comes out and he formally declares his entry into the armbar. I used to get so ecstatic when Braun Strowman would come out, and I still do. I still love the guy. I'm still a huge supporter. But man, Raw, you have dicked him over so hard. And we'll see if that continues. Again, we'll be talking about the armbar in our preview and predictions. Big Show's like, get your ass in here. And then Braun's like, no. And I will say, you know what? No matter what Raw does to Braun, I can happily say that Braun gets it. Because he explicitly says, no, these people would love if I went down there and engaged you right now. So I'm not going to do it. I do what I want. Yeah, Braun, fuck them. So I really appreciated that. It's the little things. And Braun, I love the guy. He's so good. And yeah, we'll see what his fate is at WrestleMania. Do you have anything you want to say about this? Because, man, this segment was a fucking waste.
Yeah, I will say, to me, Braun was the best part of this segment, but I loved Big Show's reaction to him. The way he got all worked up, he was like, "Come on, you big son of a bitch!" I just love the way. And I'll also say, Big Show delivering one-handed choke slams to normal-sized human beings was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, again, so happy and so proud for Big Show. And I wonder if he got all fired up, if like he imposed Shaq's face on Braun's body. And he's like, damn it, just getting himself all fired up because that match ain't happening, obviously. But yeah, cool stuff, at least from Braun. And we'll see who emerges with the armbar trophy. But moving on, oh God, this club promo backstage.
I mean, before we do move on, I also wanted to say I'm actually really happy that Braun hasn't seemed to have lost any kind of reaction from the crowd since he did lose his first match. The crowd still reacts to him the same. Like, they still, and really it's weird to say this, but they still love him. Like, Braun is really freaking over.
He is, dude. He is, and I actually concur with you. I'm so relieved that the crowd hasn't like given up on him or died on him, because even with this first loss and how idiotically they've handled him the last few weeks, I still feel like this guy is one of the best things you have in your arsenal. He really is, and I'm glad to see that they haven't given
it's
up on
so funny too. We'll talk more about this when we get to the Roman segment here in a few minutes. But I love that, like, it's gotten to the point that Roman is so hated that he can get baby faces over.
Exactly. Even people that aren't meant to be
Right.
baby faces.
Right, yeah. Like, that's the
crazy.
thing. Like, imagine, like, if Roman even just slightly accepts his inner heel and then works a program with, like, Finn Balor. Like, oh my God.
Dude, and the crazy thing is, you see it, I see it, everybody sees it, everybody except the people that actually matter.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
will always be a source of
I
depression.
just love Braun, man, because he comes out there and he's talking about, Big Show, I could definitely come down there and kick your ass if I wanted to, but I'm not going to because I do things on my time.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying.
I love the way he talks. I love that he has like this growly, angry monster voice, but he's still like articulate and eloquent. It's a weird. It's kind of a weird thing with him that, like, I don't know. It's such a clash. I love it though. I freaking Braun, like, it's funny that you are like getting a little bit slightly more jaded with Braun because I'm just loving him more and more every week.
Oh, no. Let me, we're not going to move on from that. I have to correct you there. It's not me getting jaded with Braun. It's me getting jaded with the people that handle Braun. I love Braun just as much now as I ever have. No, I had to stop you there because I was even getting ready to say, I haven't loved a big man this much since heel Mark Henry. I think the world of Braun Strowman. I just wish the people that handle him thought the world of Braun Strowman, and they still may in their own warped minds. But this guy is, dude. I think about the things that Braun has done. I mean, he's got the talking down. I don't like scarves, and I don't like you. He's intelligent, right? Because his match with Kevin Owens, he sees Jericho out of the corner of his eye. Wow, that could be a problem. I should probably do something about that. Choke slams him through the announce table. Like, this guy is fucking everything. And I hate that they're like, oh, sorry, Braun, you really understand the intricacies of this business, but Roman Reigns, though?
Dude, who do you think booked him to be smart enough to chokeslam Jericho through the table in the first place?
I mean, somebody who should get the pen a lot more than they have. Because then he ends up doing something stupid at Fastlane, going off the top rope, and then getting speared by Roman Reigns. And then we don't even need to go into that Raw rematch. I don't know, dude. I'm just hoping that they can keep the boat sailing nice and calmly. We'll see at WrestleMania.
Imagine the post-WrestleMania Raw where Roman Reigns has the last match against, like, I don't know, just because I'm going to go into the fantasy world where he's a bad guy. Roman Reigns has the last match against Sami Zayn, and then to close the night, Roman Reigns continues the beatdown on Sami Zayn after pinning him 1, 2, 3 in the ring, and Braun comes out for the save.
Yes.
The face turn of the century.
I just want Braun to ruin everyone's life, heel or face.
Yeah, he's great.
Amazing.
I love Braun. All right. It's crazy, too, because, like, we've both known about Braun for so long. Like, even back to when he didn't have an R in his last name, when it was just Braun Strowman.
Yeah, I even forgot that the whole R thing, like, was a thing. I've gotten Roman now. Yep. But yeah, we go from this to the antithesis of great, because I hated everything about this. The club promo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. John, I can't even, so I'm going to need you to even while I'm odding over here.
Dude, fuck that. We're both odding tonight, because I'll tell you, I didn't even take... No, I'm serious. I didn't even take detailed notes of this promo. All I put was, and I'm quoting here, God, that promo was mediocre. And there is one thing that stuck out to me. They blamed Enzo and Cass for why Sheamus and Cesaro kept their WrestleMania title shot. No. We all saw the footage, fuckwads. You jumped them before the bell even rang because you're more concerned with Spotlight than keeping your tag titles, which is the only reason you have any spotlight to begin with. Dumbest champions ever. Oh my God.
And the great thing is they even called Enzo and Cass dumb.
I know. I'm like, don't you fucking... You don't have the right. I got so much angrier about this promo than I had any right to be because it's Raw and what the fuck am I doing here? But they kept doing the whole Enzo, you can't teach that. And at the time I'm like, oh my God, I actually hate it more when you guys do it than when they do it because at least it's their thing. And yeah, that was the club promo. I hated everything about this. I really want to know. I want to know how these guys feel about their WWE run right now. Because maybe they'd be happy because, hey, we're the champions. But I wonder, does it ever cross their mind, I miss New Japan? Or I miss being this way? Because I fucking hate you guys. I ain't going to lie. I fucking hate. And not even in the way like, oh, you want to see us get beat? No, if you never showed up on my TV again, I wouldn't even register it because you're so pathetic. And this is coming from a guy that loved Carl Anderson and loved these two as part of the actual club.
It's so depressing that you're saying this, and I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, right? It stings, doesn't it? You feel like you're being stabbed because it's like, wait, I remember a time before this when they were good. Yeah, hang tight to those memories, people. So they're long fucking gone. So yeah, this promo was a thing. And then you know what else was a thing? Another Taker digging a new yard for Roman Reigns. And then we got a Roman Reigns promo from Charlie, who, you know, just...
Hang on a second. I just wanted to say...
Of course.
It is abundantly clear that when Michael Cole said The Undertaker was digging a new yard for Roman Reigns, he was botching. Because The Undertaker doesn't dig yards. The yard is The Undertaker's. The only thing he digs is holes, as in graves, as in places to bury people. That's what he was digging. He was digging Roman's grave, not a new yard. Thanks, Cole, for screwing that line up.
Yeah, thanks, Cole, for screwing that line up. And to be fair, I did call it a grave at first, and then live chat was like, no, it was a yard, John. God, this is why your parents don't love you. I'm not projecting. Anyway, we go from that to Roman Reigns cutting a promo. He's like, you know, Charlie, baby girl, I'm not going to feed into the Undertaker's mind games. I'm going to address the WWE Universe tonight. Believe that. I will believe it, Roman, because you honestly have no reason to lie to me about that. Yeah, this is pretty succinct. I can't even jump on Reigns for this. That doesn't come till later. We check in on the New Day before Mania. They check the stock exchange, everything else. I'm sorry, because I never even asked you what you felt about the Reigns promo or this New Day thing. Do you have any thoughts to share?
I was just laughing at Ace the Skylord in chat. He's called The Undertaker, not The Gardener.
Oh Oh, ace.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, Roman, I love that the line, I'm a grown man. I don't believe in dead men. I'm sorry, Roman, but the dead man has been around for 2 decades. You're not going to stifle him now.
Exactly. You know what, though? This is all the more reason why I want him to be heel, because everything out of his mouth is so meme-worthy.
Dude, it's like freaking Hernandez in Lucha Underground Season 1. There's no such thing as dragons! Like, that's what this is. He's being a douche, and he's getting booed, but then, like, he's supposed to be a good guy? How?
Dude, I don't know. I don't even know how many tumors I've given my brain trying to waddle through the minefield known as their thought process. We get another segment here after checking in on the New Day. Sheamus and Cesaro, they're talking about, hey, you know, we just want to make sure that we live up to Mick's belief in us, and then they get assaulted by the club with ladders, which, by the way, what were you going to say, partner?
I'm agreeing with you because, like, the ladders got involved in this segment and then in the Enzo and Cat segment later, and then they did, like, the WrestleMania rundown after all that stuff, and they didn't make this a ladder match.
And you know what? I have to redact a remark I made way back in this review. If there was anything that was a nitpick, because, again, this isn't worth the heat of the night. They are not getting that much anger out of me. It was this. Because I'm like, oh my, you're shoving the ladders in our face, and it's still triple threat. They even have, like, in all caps, I saw, like, the WWE Twitter tweeted out, triple threat rules in all caps, as if to say, yeah, you were expecting a ladder match, weren't you? Fuck you. So, yeah. They assault him with ladders, but I mean, why ladders specifically? It's not like anybody's going to derive anything from that, right?
That would be good storytelling. Actually, no. That wouldn't even be good storytelling. That would be competent storytelling, which isn't even that great, but it's passable, and WWE can't even pull that off.
Do you want to know the saddest thing about all this? And I don't even mean
How much sadder can this get?
Well, I mean, for me personally, because what I'm about to say, I don't mean it as an ego stroke, but do you remember I even said, like, I wonder if that's going to be a ladder match? No, I'm probably reading too much into things. And then when they did it again, I'm like, oh, they're definitely doing it. But it turns out my initial instinct was right. I did read too much into things. God, Raw, I hate you so much. So much.
And then I proceeded to give them too much credit as well, because I actually... concurred what you said, and I said, oh no, yeah, you're totally right. There's no way they would have them use a ladder and not have it turn into something. Welp.
That laugh, though. So yeah, we go from that to Neville versus Jack Gallagher, and you know what? I gotta be honest. I enjoyed this match. I think Neville's actually one of my favorite acts on Raw, and I've started to feel this way like the past few weeks. You know, even though his heel character, like, I did enjoy his stuff in NXT better, that by no means says that what he's doing now is atrocious or anything, because I enjoy that too.
I just can't get over the perpetual constipated face.
Yeah, I mean, given that his face wasn't doing him any favors to begin with.
No, like, it just looks now like he's just constantly trying to squeeze out that one last little dookie, and he can't manage to do it.
Oh my god. You're not even wrong. But, yeah, Neville gets the win. His superplex, man, I've really started to buy it now that WWE's really emphasized it more in his matches. And the idea that he's using the Batista bite as a submission, I'm like, you know what? That's cool. I even went into my 2K16 video game and I updated it. I'm like, this is your finisher now. Fuck this.
But John, it's not the Batista bite unless Batista does it. It's the Rings of Saturn when Neville does it, which is weird because I thought it was only the Rings of Saturn when Perry Saturn did it.
And that's why it will always be a Batista bite to me, because he's a successful movie star and Perry Saturn fell in love with a mop. So Batista.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you kept a kayfabe there, because you could have gone really dark with Perry Saturn on that.
I could have, and yet I don't even feel any scumminess in me. God, Raw's getting to me. So after this, we get the Roman Reigns promo, and you know what? I'm going to let you go first. I need to put the brakes on. I'm going to let you go first, get all your thoughts out about all this. So what'd you think?
Are we talking about the Neville Jack Gallagher thing?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, if you have any thoughts about that, yeah, I mean, get that. But yeah, I was more referring to Roman Reigns' actual promo in front of the WWE Universe.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you kind of skipped the Austin Aries news thing with the New Day.
Oh yeah, did I put that in my notes? Because I feel like I did. Oh yeah, I did. It's just
I mean,
Aries, yeah.
you might have tried to block it out from your memory because it was so terrible, but it existed.
So what did you think about it then, since you brought it up?
It just reminded me of Happy Gilmore because it's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. That's all it made me think of because, like, Xavier and Big E were just like, oh, well, we don't know who we're going to pick to win between you and Neville because everybody knows that the amount of in ring talent and success that someone finds is derived from the hips. And we need to know how good your hips are. And then Austin Aries, tries to be serious for a second, and he's just like, guys, I'm trying to conduct a serious interview here. And then he does the WWE Cruiserweight Champion. And then New Day tried to get the A double chant started. And, like, I still have a little bit of PTSD because every time Austin Aries dances, I expect him to punch No Way Jose in the face.
You know, I really, I blocked this out of my memory because I hated it so much. But now that we're talking about it, I might as well be honest. This whole thing to me is like when you really have like a tight-knit group of friends, those types of people that you're blood brothers with, and you think, oh, nothing's going to separate us, and you have your own little thing, and then your mom walks in on you doing your handshake or your dance, and she tries joining in, and she just kills it. Like, you immediately feel dirty doing it afterwards, so you're like,
but that's not
thing.
even just this segment. That's just Austin Aries in WWE in general.
I agree, and that's the thing. I can't even.
Austin Aries is the annoying, boring soccer mom who wants to fit in and wants everyone to like him, but still sucks.
Exactly, because this whole time I've just been thinking, I don't buy it. Austin Aries does not connect with me as a babyface at all, and he barely connects with me as a heel. And I'm the guy that's all about the heels. You ruin things, Aries. You ruin things. So yeah, that's all there is to that.
And then when Austin Aries turns heel, it's like the annoying, boring supermom went like, "Oh, fine. If you don't want to include me, then I guess I'll just stop buying you pizza every Wednesday night."
Oh my God, you're right. Oh my God. Because now I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking about Linda from Bob's Burgers, who's my least favorite character, and just the pain. The pain just doesn't stop. I have no refuge. No refuge. But we go from
I'm very
that.
sorry that I put you through that. I feel like I might have gone too far there.
No, look, it's not your fault, man. You're only doing what Raw started. It's cool. I'm just, again, all them. What you can do for me, though, I'd really love to know your thoughts about Roman Reigns' in-ring promo here in front of a very hostile Philly crowd. What'd you think about this?
Philadelphia, you have redeemed yourself from that time when you cheered him.
Exactly.
It's like they were the ones that booed him out of the building when he won the Royal Rumble, and then he won the championship in Philly, and they cheered him for it, and I hated them for it. This is your full redemption story, guys. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you.
I'm proud of them, too. And I want to be proud of Roman. And I say that sincerely.
I am. I am proud of Roman, but the part that ruined this whole promo was, with all due respect.
There it fucking is. Honestly, after this show, I'm not even going to, make any, snarky remarks or anything about trigger warnings anymore, because this is my trigger, with all due respect. I hear it, and I immediately just want to plunge in somebody's face. Preferably whoever fed him those lines, because we have to keep that babyface credibility, Roman. What is so wrong with knowing you're facing a legend who, quite honestly, I don't even know how he gets out of bed without turning into dust every morning, and saying, I'm going to put you down? Just owning it for that one thing. And hell, you can even look at Asuka, even though it's a completely, different circumstance. I understand that. She can heal it up for babyface challengers and then go babyface when it's heel challengers. You couldn't do that this one time with Roman, this one fucking time. But no, it's always, I'm about to say stuff that would be perceived as really arrogant, really cocky, really full of myself. But I want you people to know that it's with all due respect.
I thought you were going to say, but I want you people to know that I'm still going to be a good guy after this.
And I want you people to know that anybody who thinks that, it's irrelevant. But
oh my God. But yeah, like I love if you cut out the "with all due respect," this was a great heel promo.
Yes, it was. You're right. You're 150% right, which is why those words make it so much worse. Because
He's talking about, I don't care what Goldberg says. I don't care what Brock Lesnar thinks. I don't care what John Cena thinks. This is my yard and this is my time.
you know what's funny? Because he said Goldberg first. I have no delusions of Goldberg Reigns happening, but then he says Lesnar and then he says Cena, and I'm wondering if, like, did he just hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge at WrestleMania 34 and 5? Yeah. So 34 he gets Lesnar.
No. He hinted at WrestleMania 34 and then SummerSlam either this year or next year.
Oh, okay, so you...
Because, right. I mean, clearly if The Undertaker is passing the torch this year, they don't need John Cena to pass the torch anymore. That can be the B-level WrestleMania, the one that they actually target at wrestling fans.
Yeah, and the one where I actually feel like they try harder sometimes. I don't know. Or maybe,
for sure. Yeah, SummerSlam is a more enjoyable show on a year-in, year-out basis consistently than WrestleMania. WrestleMania has higher peaks, and when WrestleMania is great, it's better than the best SummerSlams, but WrestleMania is not consistent whatsoever, and it has way more misses than SummerSlam ever has.
Yeah, that's certainly true. I agree with you, though. I loved the heelish aspects of Roman Reigns' promo. And speaking of things we love, I'm not going to lie. I loved Undertaker's, video promo, like what he did here. This, to me, was classic Undertaker. This is the Undertaker that I remember when he became the Dead Man again.
Yeah,
growing
like 98,
up with.
97, 98.
Yeah, and for me, 2004, right? Because, again, we saw WrestleMania 20. We know that whole angle. Yep. This was the Taker I was used to growing up. And, yeah, this was awesome. Just saying, Roman, I know you say it's one versus all, so I'm digging you, a grave away from everybody else. And
actually, I went ahead and I transcribed the promo, so I can actually tell you exactly what he said.
Sure.
He said, Roman, you've made a grave mistake. The ring you're standing in is my yard. This is going to be your yard. You live by the words one versus all. That's why I've carved out a special corner of hell for you, Roman. One isolated from all the other souls in my collection. At WrestleMania, the Roman Empire will fall, and the ultimate thrill ride will be your last ride. Roman, I would advise you to live each day as it is your last, because soon it will be. At WrestleMania, you will. And then the lights go out in the arena, and you hear the gongs, and the lightning strikes, and Taker's in the ring, and he has a mic, and he goes, as I was saying, at WrestleMania, you will rest in peace. I love Taker so much here.
I loved it too. And it's funny that I can actually use that word with sincerity. I'm like, man, because again, the rumors have started up. Is this Taker's last Mania? And I never say definitively no, but I never enthusiastically say yes either. I just kind of play the wait and see game anymore. But yeah, this was great stuff from Taker.
Is this the best Undertaker promo we've gotten since 2011?
It might be, dude, because I was really into this.
Because I feel like the last time we got a Taker promo of this quality was the end of an era match build leading up to the match with Triple H.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I thought this was really good. The only thing, though, kind of looking back, it's funny that Reigns talks such a good game, like, this is my yard now, and yet he just let Undertaker stand in the ring to finish his promo. Like, I honestly half expected him to spear Taker, midway, rest, in, oh my God, spear! Yeah, and then Reigns is like, yeah, finish it. Oh, you can't, can you? How you breathing, asshole? But no, that didn't happen.
You and your how you breathing, I swear.
Yeah, Taker finished his promo. Reigns just looked on. He was like, my hair look good. And, that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you have anything you want to add to this?
No, I just, it's unfortunate because I just have this image conjured up in my mind now of Roman hitting that third spear on Taker. Maybe it'll even be the second because they want to make it even more, strong than it was before. And then after the match, just Roman standing there with all of the crowd raining down boos on him, and then Taker shakes his hand and raises his hand and does the Rock point, but he also has the Rock expression on his face, like, what the hell just happened?
I also, at this point, with this build, especially on Reigns' end, I'm thinking they may do like a WrestleMania 24, Shawn and Flair, and right as he's going for the third spear, he mouths, with all due respect, and he hits the final spear on Taker for the pin.
That would be incredible. Oh my god, that's the pinnacle of WWE booking of Roman Reigns, though, isn't it? Like, he's about to end his career, and it's this horrible thing, but as long as he says, with all due respect, he totally can get away with it and still be a good guy.
It absolves me of everything.
You just walk up to, like, the freaking Prime Minister of Canada, and you're just like, with all due respect, gun to the head. Like,
dude,
it's just like this ultimate absolve. Like, that's why I want, with all due respect, to be Roman's heel catchphrase if he does turn heel, because then he can be like, with all due respect, I'm going to need to ask y'all to shut the hell up and sit down in your fat little asses.
Dude, I was even getting ready to say, because I know you mentioned something about that, like when we were kind of talking about the show while it was going, but that would be amazing if that was the heel character. I could just picture somebody being like, dude, that was a real dick move. I said with all due respect, that absolves me of everything.
Yep.
Now sit your ass down.
Listen, Undertaker, with all due respect, I'm going to low blow you now. Boom!
Exactly. Dude, honestly, oh God. Honestly,
I want Roman to cheat to win so bad.
Dude, no.
Because nobody's ever beaten Taker at WrestleMania by cheating. Like, Brock did it, but he did it legit.
Right.
No one else has ever done it. I want Roman to be the first person to cheat to beat Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Dude, honestly, there's so much I want to say, but I'm fighting every impulse because I really do want to have this discussion for preview and predictions.
I know. It's so far away, though. We have to wait 4 whole days and like 7 commentaries.
Yeah, dude, I apologize, but I can't engage the conversation right now. I got to fight every impulse because if I don't, I'm not going to be able to stop because I have a lot I want to say about this match. But yeah,
and just to be clear, it's actually there are 5 commentaries between this and our Mania preview predictions, not 7.
TWitWoW Mania, bitches.
With all due respect, ooh,
yes, yeah. Third spear. Taker's clutching his ribs. He's struggling to get up because God, I should have gotten that hip replacement years ago. With all due respect, spear. Boo! 3 count. Roman. It is your yard now. No! My childhood, why? Oh, my God. I think I made myself
passing
sick.
of the torch.
Oh, my God. I think I just made myself sick, and that was just a simulation.
Dude, over or under, like, 11 and a half instances of them saying that phrase if Undertaker does give Roman the win.
Oh my, well, God, and that's it. I'm so glad you brought that up because, guys, if you're getting sick of hearing the tagline, the ultimate thrill ride, you don't even know what sickness is because this show will abuse the fuck out of a soundbite or a tagline or anything until you're sick of it. So get used to it, people. Buckle up and pucker up that anus, that is.
I feel like
the
worst case possible for this match is Roman wins with 1 spear clean, and then Taker raises his hand afterwards. And I'm honestly not even expecting the match to really like differ from that scenario that much, if at all.
Dude, WWE has such a hard-on thinking about Roman being that guy. I wouldn't be surprised if they had Taker do his signature, like, bow that he normally does for Paul Bearer to Roman Reigns. Be like, yeah, this is the ultimate sign that I'm passing the torch to you.
I don't think they'll go that far.
I don't think they'll go that far either, but I'm so jaded, nothing surprises me anymore. I'm like, oh, wow. So you're really just pimping yourself out for the sake of this career that really could be something, but he's the wrong alignment and nobody wants to listen because the CEO is a man-child. So after that, we get the Club versus the Realist guys, except wait, we don't, because Sheamus and Cesaro get the jump on them with ladders. And I will say, there was one worthwhile thing about all this, despite, besides, I should say, my balls being tickled that we're going to get a ladder match. And we may get it announced later in the week, to be fair. But tonight, and that's all we can go on, we got fuck all, so screw that. When Enzo got hit with the ladder, Corey Graves' laugh when Enzo got hit, that is my fucking life right there. He reveled in it, and I'm like, oh, Corey, I know that if this WrestleMania kills me, you can carry the torch of the Scum Squad. And, so long as you're consistent, because that laugh was amazing. I'm like, yeah, Corey, I see you. I see you. So, yeah, he really got back on my good side with that because he just loves it.
Dude, it's funny that Corey got back on your good side with that because Enzo and Cass kind of took a nice step in the right direction and getting back on my good side with their promo tonight, too.
Yeah, dude, I thought their promo was great. I mean, again, this kind of reminded me of, like, the energy and everything of their NXT days, and I'm like, man, it's so great to see them, return to form as best they can. I thoroughly enjoyed it, too. And what
Cass doing the Allen Iverson practice shtick got me. I love that clip too.
Yeah. I mean, I thought
I'm just waiting for one day that when they have like a show in Indianapolis, Cass is going to be like, playoffs? What are you talking about? What, playoffs? Just do the Jim Mora bit, and then maybe they go to Arizona and we get the Denny Green freaking, they are who we thought they were, Just take all of the ridiculous press conferences and work them into your shtick. Because why not? It works and it gets a cheap pop, it works.
It does. And one other thing I liked about all of this, despite the fact that, it was a non-match, the club emerges standing tall. I really appreciated that. It may be a case of too little too late because it doesn't undo like the idiotic kind of booking that they've had in terms of their characters and like why they do the things they do. But it was nice to see them start a fight with Sheamus and Cesaro with the ladders and then finish that fight in a later segment. That is the club I can get behind if I see that on a more regular basis. And I have to give them credit for that. I've been giving them a lot of shit for the club, all of which I think is justified. But to me, that was something right that they did, and I have to give them kudos for that. So, yeah, having the club emerge from this skirmish, standing tall as the champions, got my big seal of approval. Do you have anything else you want to say about this?
Probably not, no.
All right. We get a Kevin Owens promo, and Kevin Owens, I mean, he is just a few short steps away from just pure nirvana because he's saying, I've been waiting for this. I want to be the reason that Sami Zayn is gone from Raw. This is a great opportunity, one that I've waited so long for. And then he talks about Chris Jericho and how he says, like, yeah, Jericho was right. I used to be a fan of his. But if I had known, then what I know now, I would have never had my parents waste their money on Chris Jericho merchandise. And, he keeps talking about Jericho and he punctuates it with, he's going to turn the Ultimate Thrill Ride into Chris Jericho's ultimate demise. So I thought it was a solid promo from KO. I always enjoy his work. I always enjoy him, period. And, yeah, that was all before this match. So do you have any remarks about Kevin Owens' promo?
No, not really.
All right, we get the video package for Triple H and Seth Rollins. Not much analysis you can do for a video package, but I will say I thought it was very well done and it actually got me even more hyped for their match. So kudos to them. Any thoughts you want to express about their video package?
Yeah, dude, this video package was freaking awesome. This was a really well done thing, but my only concern is that they're going to show the exact same video package right before their match at Mania, and they'll probably show the exact same video package on the pre-show too. So by the time we actually get to the match, it'll be at minimum the third time that we're seeing this video package. That's going to be annoying.
Yeah, dude. I always loved, like, growing up, just seeing a video package the one and only time, because that's what hype fucking is.
Yeah.
But now they get so overplayed. Even the really good ones that I'm like, man, that was so well put together. But by the third time, you're just like, oh my god, okay, we get it. But yeah, good stuff there for those guys. And then we get to our main event. Well, actually, not our main event.
The main event match.
Yeah. And this is where my notes kind of stop because I really did enjoy this, so I was like more glued on that. Until, of course, the finish. But before that, I mean, you had Kevin Owens get caught with his cannonball. Sami Zayn does an exploder. They go to the outside. They fight a little bit. Sami Zayn does a dive off the stage. I really feel like all the great moments in this match belong to Sami, actually, oddly enough.
The DDT through the ropes.
Yeah, DDT through the ropes.
By the way, that like swan dive that you were talking about off the stage, that was beautiful.
Yeah, the only really cool moment that I thought Owens had that I'm like, man, that's awesome. The DDT he did on the steel steps, and then he followed it up with the senton off the steps onto
Yeah.
Sammy. I thought that was cool. And see,
Yep.
like, they were going out and they were having a match, but no, then Joe has to come out. And then, oh, wait.
Well, yeah,
Jericho's
because
under-
Sami Zayn hit the Blue Thunder Bomb, and so Joe thought that Sammy was going to win, even though Sammy's never won with the Blue Thunder Bomb in his WWE career.
Exactly.
But, I
And
mean, if Kevin Owens can get pinned by a roll-up, maybe he could have gotten pinned by the Blue Thunder Bomb. You never know.
I am so pissed about that. Jesus Christ.
I
Because then
said out loud as Sammy hit the roll-up, he's going to kick out, and then he didn't.
Dude, I just realized with you saying that, like, it's really crystallized for me how many times you and I were wrong throughout the course of this show. Man, our expectations, man, took a beating tonight. God
It's like in that freaking wrestling video. I hope you're ready to suspend your disbelief. Oh, because your suspension of disbelief is about to take an effing beating.
Yeah, right?
Our expectations took an effing beating in this show.
Yeah,
our hopes, our dreams, our expectations. This is why the moral of the Scum Squad is to never try.
I know, right? Like, my expectations have returned to me like some scarred child, and they're looking at me with tear-filled eyes. How could you let this happen to me?
Why did you do this to me? Why would you have me?
How could you do this to me? And I just want to say, I don't know. I don't know.
Please don't do this to me.
Oh,
God, are we going to have another one of those moments on this year's Post-Mania Raw?
Oh, God, I hope so, because that's just been for 10,000 years. I mean,
that moment last year, I swear, freaking... Like, there was this big schmoz of a women's match, and Charlotte had the mic, and then Natalya had the mic, and I knew what was coming, and that was the only thing that I could say to properly express how I was feeling inside.
I mean, I love you, brother, but that was just delicious. I still try to visualize to this day just how tight your whole body got knowing it was coming. Like,
no, it was the opposite. It was like I had melted into a puddle on my sofa and just gave up on life in that moment.
I don't blame you. I feel like Raw the past few weeks has made me want to give up on life, and the only thing keeping me together is knowing that we're about to wash our hands of this shit.
You know that feeling you get when you watch something that's like horribly cringe-inducing, where you just kind of want to crawl into a corner and die?
Yeah.
That was how I felt when I saw that Natalya had a microphone.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Do you get a similar feeling now when Charlotte has the microphone?
Yes. It's actually worse now with Charlotte than Natalya, even now.
Gone through so much. I don't even want to know what your psyche looks like, man.
Honestly, I think that my psyche has been beaten into submission to the point that I don't even get that way with Charlotte anymore. I just sigh and mute the TV.
Wow, that depression runs deep. Like, I could die, but that still takes too much effort. I guess I'll put the TV on mute and cry inside.
It's like, oh, Charlotte's music just hit. Time to mute the TV and see what's going on Twitter and Reddit, because I don't want to hear her.
Oh, my God. Well, you know what? I didn't want to hear the ref's hand slap the mat 3 times for a 3 count on a fucking roll-up on Kevin Owens. But that happened too.
And I love too that he kicked out after the 3. Like, dude, you've been doing this for 20 years. You know that doesn't count.
I know. I'm sorry the way you said that. The way you said that, you sounded like a disappointed coach. You've been doing this for 20 years. You know that doesn't work. Now get back to the locker room and shower. What? What?
But first,
I don't know.
drop down and give me 20.
Yeah, that too. Oh my God, I don't even know, dude.
We've got people in chat saying that I need one of your therapists, so...
No, all you motherfuckers and me need one of my therapists. I'm booking us all for a family session. Screw this shit.
I mean, yeah, I think our peak traffic tonight was like 26 live viewers, so that you have enough therapists for 2 each, right?
Yeah, oh my God, I have 45 therapists. I have 19 to freaking spare if anybody else wants to have problems come this Sunday at Mania.
Well, no, I said 2 each. I said 2 each.
2 each.
So that would require 52.
Well, please, I could lease out 7 more before Sunday. I mean, with this fucking Raw product terrorizing my dreams. Yeah, I mean, Jericho comes out. He attacks Joe from behind because Jericho, apparently, the guy that's leaving, is also allowed to look like the smartest guy in this fucking collection of nitwits.
That would be, you know what? I just realized that would make for a really, really ridiculous, interesting TV show.
What, 52 Therapists? That could even be the title. 52 Therapists.
No. Like, I was just thinking, like, well, if there are two each, like, how would that work? Like, would they be like good cop, bad cop, but with therapists? And then I realized, like, we should make a show called Good Therapist, Bad Therapist, where, like, there's one therapist who just kind of, like, makes fun of the client all the time, and then the other one is, like, actually the good therapist who, like, tries to get into their emotional problems and help them.
Oh, those mixed messages, though, and emotions, really.
I mean, the bad therapist would be a jerk, but he would have a point to his whole thing where, like, his goal wasn't to help you emotionally, it was to make you thicker skin. So they both had points.
So he's kind of like the Dr. Cox of psychology. I don't know if you ever watched much Scrubs.
He's like, you know how we always say that bullies build character?
Yeah.
That would be the bad therapist.
There you go.
The bad therapist builds character. The good therapist is your shoulder to cry on when you get angry at the bad therapist.
Sounds good to me, man. I'll tell you.
New television show. Book it. Let's go, Fox.
I'll tell you, I think Kevin Owens is going to need a therapist after this, because it's not just the fact
Although
that
if we work it in with Fox, we might have to have a Russian therapist.
That's true. That's definitely true. But I think Kevin Owens will need a therapist, because it's not just the fact that Jericho cost him this match. It's the idea, like, this was his golden goose. He has been waiting to ruin Sammy's life like this, and it was ripped from him because of a fucking roll-up.
John, I just realized who the perfect casting decision would be for the bad therapist.
Who's that?
Johnny Mundo.
There you go. Fucking perfect. Keep giving him that work. And no, Kid Coheed, keep it to yourself.
I mean, look at it. He's perfect to play the bully role. He gets to pick on people for being fat and insecure.
I know, right? Because he isn't fat or insecure. He's better than literally all of you. I think he's the only reason I still give the Earth a chance, if I'm being quite frank about all that. Quite frankly. But
who's the most likable actor you know?
Most likable actor?
Zach Galifianakis is the good therapist.
There you go. That works.
That's a comedy team I can get behind right there.
Absolutely. But yeah, Kevin Owens has a complex now. My complex was just exacerbated, and Chris Jericho takes a steel chair to Kevin Owens a few times, and is like, come on. Oh, and then he finally puts Kevin Owens on the list, which, like, I knew that was going to happen. I just didn't think they'd take this long to get there. But they got there, people. They got there. Kevin Owens is on the list. Nothing will ever be the same. Do you have anything to say about this?
No, I don't have anything to say about this because I feel like this was actually my heat of the night, so let's move on.
Absolutely. So there should only be one segment left, and that was Brock Lesnar and Goldberg.
In other words, Paul Heyman sells the match, and then Goldberg ruins the match.
Can that just be our review? Because
yes.
I really, there you go. Let's move on. High spots, low shots. My low shot is Brock Lesnar because Jesus fucking Christ, dude. It is really something when your hype man can build a Taj Mahal.
I'm waiting.
You let yourself
I'm waiting for Brock to do what Bret Hart did in WCW and wear some kind of like metallic plating on his stomach so that when Goldberg spears him, he knocks himself the hell out.
I mean, why not? The guy already
like Brock, you've got to accept by now that you are incapable of avoiding the spear, and once you get hit by the spear, you are incapable of not getting jackhammered, and you can't kick out of the jackhammer. So basically what we're saying is you can't beat Goldberg. So you really need to figure out a crafty, cheaty way to get Goldberg to beat himself, right?
Yeah, I mean, Heyman should go to somebody and use that exact logic, and it should be a 2-on-1 handicap match, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar and a door. Because that's done more damage to Goldberg than anybody in the WWE since he's come back.
You're so right. Goldberg sells for doors and no one else.
Exactly. So you got your handicap WrestleMania main event. And
dude, the funniest thing is, I mean, that even goes back to WCW. Because remember when he punched through a car door and sold for it?
Actually, I don't remember that, but that sounds hilarious.
He punched through a car window and gashed open one of his major arteries in his arm and had to go to the hospital, and it ruined the main event for that night.
What a fucking mark. Oh my god.
Goldberg sells for no one except doors.
Do you think Heyman's ashamed? Do you think he just looks
Dude,
at
did you see his promo tonight? He literally said, Goldberg, you're the man.
Yeah,
And he said it with his head bowed down as if he was in shame.
You know, I mean, Heyman got off the Brock horse once before at Survivor Series 2002, which we have done a review of, by the way. If you haven't seen it, check it out on the channel. But I wouldn't blame Heyman if he hitched his cart to that horse known as Goldberg.
Oh, yeah, and that's the other thing. Goldberg speared someone through a door. So Goldberg versus Doors is a long-running feud.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the John Cena versus Steel Steps of his age. So
I mean, that feud's been over for a while. Cena just wins every match they have nowadays.
Yeah, that's true.
It took a while for Cena to overcome that obstacle, but once he overcame it the first time, he had its number, and it hasn't been able to come back since.
Exactly. But, I mean, I'm telling you, Brock, make it a handicap match, get a door in your corner, and you tag it in, and you buy yourself at least a good 5 minutes, I think.
Tape a small wooden door to your ribs so that when Goldberg spears you, he hits his head on it.
Exactly. Or just have Heyman hand you a door, and when Goldberg goes with a spear, just use it as a shield at the last second. Pick him up.
It's just a door with like no frame, and he just holds it. And he holds it in a way that it's open, so Goldberg has a straight shot at him. But then when Goldberg starts running towards him for a spear, you can close it on him, and he'll just head first run into it.
Yeah.
If you watch Goldberg, he ducks his head before he does a spear, so he wouldn't see it coming.
Exactly. And then, Brock, because I know you're kind of oafish and you don't really listen well, you'd want to pick Goldberg up and F5 him onto the door because teamwork.
There you go. Yeah, that's a great idea. But then you have to get him off the door for the pin because the door doesn't count as the mat.
That's true. But that would only take, 2 seconds? I mean, unless Brock's sucking wind, which I doubt. You add an extra, 5 seconds, maybe.
Brock has already had, 4 interactions with Goldberg, and he hasn't been able to budge him yet, so I don't know how easy it would be for him.
No, that is true. I mean, even dead weight Goldberg is more of a challenge to Brock than just, anything. So yeah. Brock just has your nut. Look, getting back on a serious note for just a second, I even said to you in conversation, it's gotten to the point with me where I don't even give a shit if Brock beats Goldberg this Sunday, which I'm not taking any formal stances until previewing predictions. But even if he does, I'm still going to think of Brock Lesnar as Goldberg's bitch. Because how the hell else am I supposed to perceive him with just every time they're there together? Even the time that Brock Lesnar F5 Goldberg. And he's like, yeah, I finally got something on him, Paul. I did it. He got up and he went, yeah, like he got fired up being hit. So he no-sold your fucking ass the one little bit of offense you got. You got bitched out, bruh. That's it. In fact, it's going to be laughable, whoever Brock feuds with if he becomes champion, because I'm going to think, oh, it must be nice being big man on campus again, huh? Are you looking over your shoulder for fucking Goldberg? I don't know. It's a fucking joke, dude.
You know what, though? That gives every former or every future opponent to Brock Lesnar an extra tool in their arsenal, because all they need to do is cue up the sound guy to play Goldberg's theme song 10 minutes into the match, and then guess what? That's a distraction roll-up win.
Yes! Yes! Oh my god, I hate this so much. So yeah, Goldberg stands tall, which is more than I could say for any of us.
Well, no, we were already in high spots, low shots, and you gave Brock your low shot.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's what this whole discussion stemmed from.
My reality is collapsing. This Raw was so horrid. Who's your low shot?
Yeah, I'm proud of this one. My low shot's Charlotte. You got pinned, bitch.
Yeah, she really did. By a belly-to-belly suplex, no less. Oh, but it's okay.
It was delivered by Bayley, which gives it extra power.
Exactly, because it's delivered by a hugger, of course. So it's not a suplex, it's a hug. But yeah. Honestly, because I may never get a chance to do this again because of how pathetic they are on a regular basis, my high spot is the club. They started a fight and they finished a fight. Yeah,
Don't we normally base at least a portion of our high spot on quality of work?
Yeah, but sometimes, other times we do it for God knows what reason, because things are so bad. No, they beat down Sheamus and Cesaro, and then when they tried to get their comeuppance, the club turned the tide again. So the 2 segments they had, even coupled with the god-awful promo, they stood tall for fucking once as the champions. So I've got to spotlight them for that, because it'll probably never happen again. So who's your high spot?
My high spot's going to be Seth Rollins, just because he got his match with Triple H at WrestleMania. Continued the fake sell job of the knee, even though he's going to be fully healed at WrestleMania, and Triple H doesn't even know it yet. And he did manage to get the one-up on Triple H thanks to the crutch.
Yeah, just you saying that whole part about Triple H not knowing it yet, I just picture Seth coming in with the crutch. He drops it again, and he undoes the knee brace. Triple H's got this look and says just like, surprise, motherfucker, bam! And, they just do it. So
I gotta stop letting you get me with that every single time.
I know, right? Oh, it's so good, though. It's just so good, though. But yeah, I agree. Seth had a great night tonight. I actually forgot that we had one other segment until I remembered it at the last minute. Raw Request, which, is this even relevant anymore?
No, we're not going to do a Raw Request since it's the last show before a pay-per-view.
Yeah, which means I get to say this. Suck it!
Oh, I thought you were going to say suck less.
That too. But yeah, oh God. That was the most cathartic experience I've had in the past few hours. I needed that. Oh, I'm alive! Yeah!
The outro?
Yeah, so that's a thing. I should probably do that. This has been Raw. This has been TWitWoW. The best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. Guys, be sure to comment, subscribe, and like the video if you haven't already. We've got 21 people watching live. We just got a dislike. I see you. Well, if you haven't liked the video yet, please do so, because apparently there are enemies in our midst. And if you like the video, it does help for our Raw review to be the top search result on YouTube when you look up reviews of tonight's Monday Night Raw. So please give us a hand. If you haven't liked the video yet, please do so. Guys, as far as all of the media and everything we're associated with, you can find all of that in the description box. So please, before you leave, if you're curious what we have our hand in and what we're doing, it's all in the description box for you to see. I'm just going to take TWitWoW Mania one step at a time. Tomorrow, you're going to have SmackDown live reactions to look forward to, and we're going to get Bray Wyatt versus Luke Harper. So, I mean, you guys have that to look forward to. I think it's going to be a great match. And as far as like one other plug that's more out there, this Friday, Q&A, 3 days left now. It's after midnight. It's March 28th. 3 days left to submit questions. I know me and Brandon Best, we kind of tweeted back and forth. We got his questions ironed out. There's still time, guys. If you're like, oh, maybe I only submitted 2 questions, I've got 2 more, or I want to like swap out 1 question, you've still got time to get your affairs in order for Q&A. So please do that. You've got till Friday. You can do it. Comment on a YouTube video. You can tweet at us, which I think is one of the best methods. Our Twitter handles, again, are in the description. You can visit the TWitWoW Facebook page and PM us your questions there. Also, be sure to leave a like to the page if you haven't yet. And yeah, you've got options. The ceiling is 4 questions. That's the cap, raised up 1 from the last Q&A, and you can divvy them up however you want. You could do all 4 questions for both of us, so you get 2 answers for the price of 1 question. So, guys, the power is in your hands. This was our last formal Raw TWitWoW. Next week will be Raw live reactions because it's post-WrestleMania. Holla fucking Luya.
And if you guys want us to continue doing Raw live reactions, we have a new goal on the Patreon. Since we already got past the $80 mark and we're doing SmackDown live reactions, we can get up to 200. We will do live reactions to every episode of Raw. And it will be painful for us, but it will be so glorious for you all because you get to join us in chat. You don't even have to turn Raw on because we're going to do live reactions, so you're going to know what's happening without needing to see it, and you get additional commentary on top of it from people that actually know what they're doing.
Exactly.
Plus, there's the torture factor, which you guys seem to really enjoy on a weird level.
Yeah, and I know some people have been saying, no, we don't want to put you guys through that. You got to understand, and I've said this before, with Raw pay-per-views that I feel like are awful, what's the one thing I always say? Live chat got me through it. Would be the same thing with this Raw. I know you guys would get me through it. It would be significantly less painful than this bullshit here, where I have to be studious and professional and take notes for this cesspool of garbage. You don't deserve my notes, Raw. You never did. So yeah, guys, if you want us to continue the coverage, it will be in a live react format. You know the Patreon goal. If you have it in you, please help get us there. If not, hey, no judgment here. I totally get it. I know some people are like, oh, I feel bad. Don't. You only can do what you can do, and we ask nothing more of you than that. So, guys, with all that said, we love you. We'll see you tomorrow for SmackDown Live reactions, and until then, tune in and peace out.